Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of EXAPUNKS. We were about to head out to a radio station to create a hit single. I've been analyzing television and radio broadcasts, and I have a few questions. First of all, why do some things become popular while others don't? Yeah, sure, we'll be very cynical. Big media conglomerates push some artists and abandon others. So it comes down to corporate agendas. We should test this. Think we could pick a random pop song and make it a hit? Alright, here we are in a radio station. There's no links anywhere. How do I do anything? For more information, look in the manual. Yes, sir. Connect to each radio station and insert Can't Not Get Over You by Me to You at the beginning of each playlist without otherwise changing its contents. A list of phone numbers is available in file 301. What do I do with a dang phone number? Okay. File 300 is... okay. So the playlists look like... ooh. Inserting at the beginning of a file is not easy. Alright, so that's two challenges we have. One, how do we use this phone number in a radio station? And two, how do we insert at the beginning of a file? So let's look at the manual to try to answer these questions. First, look at just file operations. Is there anything clever we can do here? Not really. Writing... oh, I see. Void. The reason we have to say void F is because you can also void M to throw away a value that you're reading over the... got it. Okay. But so how does, like, copy work with files? I'm pretty sure you write over stuff. We've done that before. Yeah, we've done it before. I know we have, so whatever. Alright, so I guess in order to... how do you write to the beginning of a thing? Like, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? I guess you can copy a file by starting at the end. You seek to the end of a file. Jump backwards 2, copy the value, go forward 1, paste it, jump back 2 again, copy the value, go back to the end of the file, paste it again. Now you've moved the last, you've copied the last element, which leaves you a blank space you can write the previous element into. It's gonna be a bit harder to tell when we are at the beginning of the file, though, isn't it? When we should stop copying stuff? So I guess we'll have to know how large the file is first, and keep that in mind. So we'll have to do one pass over the file to get its size. Okay, fine. Now, let's look at radio stations. Code repetition with macro instructions, that sounds amazing. Modem control? What should I read? Yeah, modem control. Page 18. I'm looking at, like, this stuff in case any of this is actually useful. Yeah, so there's gonna be, like, some future puzzle that, like, one of the tips in here is useful. Like, here's the phone number for the computer system for Robert E. Cheese's. Okay, whatever. Modem control. Modems have a dial register, but I don't see... oh, I see, it's in here. sorry, you guys can't see it. There is a dial register in the main node. Can be used to dial a phone number. After establishing a connection, you should be able to traverse the 800 link to connect to it. Writing -1 to the dial register hangs up the modem. So we could okay, but that's really all we need to know, right? Hacker skills. There should be a switch that controls whether... Okay, that doesn't matter. Shopping for a modem. Alright, this is just like fluff, I guess. So what's the stuff about hacker skills? That sounded interesting. About macros. This is Wonder Disk. What did you say? I wanted to see that. Page 28. So, yeah, okay. It doesn't use registers, it's way faster. Yeah, we've done some unrolling before. I see. Whoa, what? It actually does have parameters. Okay, wow. So this is how we could maybe have done some other things a bit more simply. So what is copy? How do these arguments work? Repeat. Yeah, it has to be a constant since it occurs before the program starts running. You can't nest macros. And you can have increasing numbers inside of a repetition clause. What's this? Oh, I see. You can actually, yeah, so you can concatenate tokens in this way as well. All right, well, that's cool, I guess. All right, back to the game. You see how I remembered to point you guys back at the game? Anyway, there's the modem. So, do we want a single... We could have a single EXA do all of these things. And it does seem a little bit convenient to do so, because... Well, I was thinking, like, it's kind of hard to carry around this whole book of what data there is, right? But actually, we don't need the book. We can just read these values into T and X and have the duplicated EXAs assume they'll go over link 800 and just have this guy dial, hang up, scan through the book, the phone number book, and then keep going and, yeah, spawn a new EXA every time. That seems pretty good. It'll mean this is long again, of course, but hey, we can use repetition for these phone numbers, right? We'll just say, like, how many digits in a phone number? 11, apparently? We'll just say 11 times, copy the file into the modem. Okay. That should be fine. So let's grab file 300. That's the thing we want to make popular. Okay, because this file actually is the same every time the keywords are. I wondered if the keywords would change. Doesn't matter, of course. Grab file 300, copy F into X, that's the title, copy, well, let's put the title in T, shall we? And copy the artist into X. And then we can just wipe this file out at this point. Then we will grab 301, which is the phone numbers, and go over link 800. Now, we will mark dial. And we will use a repetition operator, repeat 11 times, right? Is that not how it works? At rep, oh, because it's just mad there's no end? Yeah, okay. Copy F into hash dial, and at end, no, at end, there we go. Then, so how does this work when we're done dialing? Does it just immediately opens, do I have to say I am now done with my number, or after? No, I don't think you do. All right. Do all of the test cases have exactly 8 radio stations? They do. I could use repetition for this, but I guess you're not allowed to nest anyway, so it wouldn't help. I could avoid the test end of file, right, if that were possible, but you can't. Yeah, wow, having a macro here helps a lot because it means we don't need X or T to like count how far along we are in the phone number, right? Now we have opened a connection, and so we wish to replicate upload. I couldn't decide between upload and hijack. And then we will test whether we are at the end of the file. If so, we will T-jump to, I don't know, exit, and we'll just mark exit here as wipe the file you're carrying, dial -1. Do I need to do that? I'm not sure. Maybe it's fine to leave the modem connected. I don't really know. But we'll just end here and that'll be fine. Otherwise, I want to copy -1 into dial, closing the connection so I can begin my next dialing attempt, and then jump back to dial. It's a little like, couldn't we just, I think I can afford, like, you don't want to close the connection before the other EXA has had a chance to get across, but I think that this is probably fine. We have a test before we close the connection, and that should give the other guy enough time to cross the link, right? So then I can just say F jump back to dial, and otherwise halt. Otherwise, rather just wipe and exit, yes? And then yeah, I guess we do have to halt still here. Mark upload, link 800, and then that's it. We'll just test that we're able to get into these various stations, number thingies. Dialing a phone number. Connected. Yep, we got in there just in time. And now we'll dial a new phone number, and we sent an EXA in. Great. Exactly the outcome I was hoping for. Kind of a bummer that we can't just let end of file happen and then have this EXA die, because we would leave behind a file, right? The list of phone numbers would be in here instead of here, and that's no good. We have to leave no trace, right? So now we just have this upload function to write, which, as previously discussed, is a bit tricky. Ugh, especially because we've been using both X and T to carry the relevant artist information in, right? And so we can't use either of those for anything unless we do something clever. What exactly could we do that would be clever? We could create another... Yeah. I guess the thing to do is to make another EXA whose job is to just be an extra X and T register for us. We'll then send him the data we were saving, and then we can do the necessary file operations to shift the whole file forward by 2, and then we'll paste the values from him back in at the beginning, right? Sure. So let's first REPL to memory, and mark memory as I wonder if it might be somehow more convenient if we started with 2 different EXAs, just so we don't have one giant code space. One EXA whose job is to come in here and wait the right amount of time and then dart into a room and replicate himself, right? But then it's like kind of, you know, that's pretty hard. Let's not do that. All right, so memory's job is just copy M into T, copy M into F. By the way, we'll be in local mode for this operation. Not F, X. And then he will simply copy so the title comes first, so title into M, copy X, the artist into M, and then halt. So he's just external storage, right? Now this person must copy title to M, copy artist to M, and then we can begin the process of working on the file. Grab 200 and do something smart. I really don't see any way to extend the file except the one I outlined earlier, right? Reading fully through the file to determine its length. Like, if there were some way to detect, are you at the beginning of the file, that would be one thing. We could read through the file backwards. Or if there were a way to create an empty space, or a new slot in the file. But... hang on, is there a way to ask a file what your current offset is? I don't see it. Yeah, I just don't think you can do that. Alright, well, that's kind of sad. Okay, well, so that's really the only thing I can see to do. There's no way to determine a file's size except by reading through it. And there's no way to insert entries except at the end. So we have to jump to the end and start copying backwards. And then, additionally, we have to have kept track of how long the file was, so we know how long to copy backwards for before we insert our new entries. All right. Let's copy. I think we just want to put this in X, right? Because we'll need to test EOF. Copy 0 into X then. And when we test for EOF, it'll overwrite T. So we can't store anything useful there. And now we will... How do I just, like, ignore a value? I guess I can just copy it from F into T, a value I'm not using. So mark flen, the old file length operator. What do you even call that in, like, is it flen in real life in C? I don't know. So we'll copy from F into T. And then test EOF. I guess either way we're adding 1 to X. And if we're not at EOF, we fjump back to flen. And at the end of this, we should have in X the number of values currently in the file, as well as being pointed at the end of the file, yes? So let's just do that and then halt, I guess, so we can test things. Okay, here's our two guys. We're offloading the values to him. He knows what we need to write, and now we can begin reading through the file. Meanwhile, we're breaking into all the other radio stations. Very exciting. I guess since we know it's going to be divisible by 2, we could do this a bit faster by not needing to do as many tests and adds, but do one more seek. Right? But okay, here we are. We have computed that there were 18 entries, which is correct. And we determined EOF, so we have halted. Very exciting. Now let's make sure that this guy correctly wipes out all evidence of himself. Okay, looks good. So I was thinking we could add 2 to X here instead and seek... Hang on. We don't even need to copy this at all. We can just seek 2 immediately, right? To scan forward through the file a bit faster. Obviously seek is not any faster than copy, but it's certainly faster than copy and then seek. So this should have the same result, but twice as quickly. Yeah, look at him go. He still computed the result 18 and it didn't take as long. Great. Alright, we don't need this or this. Uh-huh. So now we have the file's length. Do we actually want the length, or do we just want it to be like... I guess like it could be half the length and we could do things in steps of 2, but it doesn't really matter. I guess we'll just add 1, make it be the number of entries, whatever. And now, this many times, we need to seek backwards by 2 and paste the results forward, right? And it's simpler. If we had extra register space, it would be simpler to copy both values into our register and then paste them both. Rather than copying one, seeking backwards, and copying the other. But I don't think we can actually do that. We only need one register to count how far back we're going, right? We can use the other one for storage, which means we could copy a word into X. But then we're pointing at the last word, and we can't use X. Yeah, that doesn't actually work. Okay, so I guess we kind of have to do it one word at a time. Let's call this copy, I guess, is what we're going to do here. Where we... let's call this shift, because that's really what we're doing. Okay, so first of all, let's actually copy X into T, because that's a better place to store our loop counter, right? So we're going to copy from F into X. This is the title, I guess. And seek forward by 1. And copy X into the file again. Then we have to seek backward by 2 so that we're pointing at the artist. Copy F into X again. Seek forward by 1, skipping over the title. Copy X into F. Now we have shifted that value forward a bit. Next, I guess we want to seek minus how much? Minus 2 would get us the start of the value we just pasted. Minus 4 would get us the start. Well, first problem is that we are not yet at the right place to begin copying. So before we do this enter this loop, we need to seek minus 2. Now we're pointing at the last entry, right? Fine. Now we've copied it. Seeking backwards by 2 would put us at the entry we just pasted. Backwards by 4 would point us at the entry we just copied. So we need to actually go backwards by 6 to get to the next entry. Hang on, can I somehow use repetition operator here usefully? This stuff here was sort of repetitive. Not really. There's no, like... There's 4 copies and 3 seeks. And the repetition of the... Oh, we have... F to X, and then X to F. So what if I did something like this? Repeat twice, copy FX, seek 1, seek 1 both times, in fact, and copy X to F, and then seek -2, -4? Are these supposed to be parens or curlies? Yes, they are curlies. So I guess we could do this. And instead of writing 8 lines, we've written 6. Does it, how many lines does it count as if I delete this? It counts as 8, so it's counting the expansion anyway. And I don't think that this is really any more maintainable or legible than what we wrote previously. Yeah, let's just keep the old way. And finally, we need some sort of looping and terminating condition, right? So we will subtract from x1, storing the result into x. And no, not x. The value we're using is in t. And if... Oh, that's cute. The exa who has a compile error. I wondered, like, every so often I type some stuff and this guy's appearance seemed to change, but I never noticed, like, when or why. When I have a compile error, the guy's head falls off or something. Okay. And if t is non-zero, there are still more values to copy. We jump back to shift. Otherwise, we're done copying, and we're at the beginning of the file, and so we can just copy from M the title, copy from M the artist, and halt, right? We're done? Question mark? That would be exciting. Long program here. Okay, so let's see how this looks. We're in. And I want to see what this guy's up to. So, gosh, this is just a large file block. It's hard to see anything else. Whoa. What is he doing? Help! Everything's gone wrong. What happened? Uh-huh. So this is the guy with the file, and he's reading values. He's determined that there were 9 things. Why did he just vanish? What the hell? What did he try to do that was illegal? Okay, he's at the end of the file. Oh. There's a halt here. Why? I just had that in. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. He halted because I said to halt, because I put it there as like testing when we were done with flen. But now we want to do more. Makes sense. Well done, buddy. Oh, I'm watching the wrong bot anyway. Give me this one, please. Hello? Oh, is he... Yeah, he's busy copying stuff back. Wah! Stuff happened. Help. Okay, cool. We are indeed copying the file backwards. And now we've decided, look, there's space at the beginning of the file. And it totally fits, right? And then he just halts. Nice. It did not finish, however. Why? They all copied a 0 once they had copied the successful... Okay. Why? Once they copied the right thing, they copied a 0 over top of it for some reason. I missed that. Well, this memory guy doesn't need a halt, I guess. Copied M to T and M to X. Then we copied them both over M. Now that we're done with this, we copy... Hello? What? Why would you do this to me? Here we are. You are this bot. You found 9 things. And what does your buddy think, by the way? He has both things correctly. Did I copy to F or something? Wait, no, that's right. Yeah, so he has the right values. You are scanning backward through the file as desired. Ugh! God, everything jumps around when bots disappear. T has become 0. You have chosen not to jump backwards. So what is in the file right now is correct, except that we want these 2 things at the beginning. Now we copy M to F twice. Yes? And then we halt. Meanwhile, your friend over here has the correct values in X and T. And is sending them. T followed by X. And then he just stops. So where did this 0 come from? God, show me this bot, please. Are you this one? Yeah, XA0. That's you, right? You are copying from M. Oh look, that guy's shivering. He's about to explode. That's adorable. This file is now correct. How did a 0 get there? I don't understand. Wait. This one's right. Where's this file? It's this one. It's correct. How did... Okay. So this file is somehow wrong. I guess I should watch these guys instead of the others, huh? So how many files ended up broken? This file is correct. Oh no! It's because... Yes. Because I was using a test EOF on this phone number file. Before replicate, or... Yeah. Bleh. So when I replicated, I had already lost the title information. How can I preserve that information without making everything woefully complicated? I could let this phone number dialing bot just die and drop the phone book in there. And have some other bot whose job is to march in and take it off of him, right? Or I could have some other EXA whose job is to hold the numbers and have him replicate instead of having this one replicate. But that's kind of hard because you have to synchronize him replicating with this guy opening up the link, right? You could have this guy broadcast every time he opens a thing, I guess. Or actually, the period of this is well known. We could just wait 11 cycles or whatever it is, and then replicate. Well, well, well. It's still like... This guy reaches the UF, destroy the file. And we could also broadcast a message to this guy saying, don't bother going. Just delete yourself. I guess all it means is this guy will have to do a few no-ops to give the replicator bots time to go through the link before he shuts it down. Because they have to react to his message and decide whether that message means they should die or replicate. He could send a message which is either 800 or an invalid link number, and they could just traverse into that link. But the problem is, it needs to be a message to the bot before it replicates, not after, to tell it to destroy itself instead of making a copy of itself. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna need a few no-ops in there. Alright, well that's kind of lame. But at least it wasn't a problem with file copying, which was driving me nuts. Okay. So let's make a new EXA here. And it's gonna be this guy here who just, well, I want just the dialer to be its own bot, right? This guy is going to be the hijacker here. We'll call this guy the dialer, DL. So this is what we need the hijacker to do. This. Oh, hang on, shoot! I can't even. I don't even have 2 registers to work with because I need one of them to investigate whether... No. I can do a test on M directly. I can't because you can only test based on T. What a nuisance. Maybe the simplest thing to do is to just copy the book with the artist information, or not copy it, but move it into the central room, and then let the replicator bots each grab a copy of it on their way out. Read all the data in it into X and T, and then traverse. And that way we don't have to worry about the storage of all the others. It seems somewhat inelegant, but what can you do, right? So, what does that mean? The dialer bot has a simple job, I think. His job is this, basically. Grab the phone numbers, link over here, dial a number. But instead of repling himself, because he lacks useful values, he will just copy $800 to M, saying, please go ahead and replicate a new EXA to take over a new station. Then in this step, he determines that he's done, and he should then copy 0 into M, right? Before wiping his file and halting. Now that makes this bot more interesting. We don't need to do any of this copying or wiping, in fact. We're just going to grab the file and bring it link 800 and drop the file for copies to read. And we're going to have to put several no-ops between this -1 here, but exactly how many I'm not sure yet. The good news is, with repetition operators, we can just vary the number. It'll be very easy. So here, we've dropped a file. We're, before we linked 800, okay, so what we need is here at mark upload, we test whether M equals 0, right? If so, we'll just jump to Eflin, and then we'll explode because we tried to seek while not copying a file. If not, we will replicate to upload? allowing the other copy to do this, right? We will grab, which book has the 300? Grab 300, copy F into, what's first in the file? Into T. Copy F into X, and then link, drop the file. Okay, so it'll be interesting to learn whether a new EXA picking up the file retains the same file pointer the other one had or not. If so, we'll need a seek -2 in here. So how many operations did we have after reading this? One probably, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need about 8 do-nothings here before we do that. Rep 8, no op. And okay, so let's see what happens when we do this. What's been dropped? That's the artist's listing. Got it. So we're dialing, Link is open. And this dialer bot has broadcasted an 800. Doesn't really matter what it was. This guy receives it. Hello? Oh, I see. He's in global mode. Copies an 800. Now we've received it. And if... Did I do this backwards? Oh, it was not 0. So, okay, fine. We replicate an uploader. The uploader is going to go back to this slot, reading M. Meanwhile, the new bot, or the original bot, is gonna grab the values, move over here. We could have done like 3 fewer nothings, right? Oh wait, that was perfect, right? Yeah, wow. Okay. And now he's gotten in here XA with the correct song information. What happens to when we're done dialing the next number? Does the file pointer look correct or what? This guy grabs the file and he's looking at the beginning of it, not the end. Good. So he gets in here, and he also has the right. Okay, so now we should be all set, right? No. Oh, we didn't delete this file. But all of the files were edited correctly. We just need to delete this. I see. So we can't necessarily just jump to FLN as I had hoped. To die off. Do I have any wipes lying around that I could jump to? No. This other bot has one. If I could go back to having them share code, I could jump to this wipe instruction, but we'll just call this exit. I was thinking abort, but mark exit as wipe. There we go. file's still there. He wasn't holding a file. Right. He keeps putting it down for all the other guys. Very funny. So he will have to also grab 300. We did it! Alright. That was a tricky one. Several things that caught me off guard. Very low activity? Who knows what that means? I wish it would tell me. Size, pretty normal, a bit on the high side. Cycles, very normal. Didn't find one of the bad solutions, apparently. That was surprisingly easy. People are requesting the single, humming it to themselves, buying the album, just because they've heard it before. Is that really all it takes? Yeah, pretty much. Girl, you need to get a clue. Oh, she's singing it now. Just can't not get over you. It is pretty catchy. Okay, very funny. Valhalla, that sounds exciting, huh? But this, like, one puzzle took us an hour? Is that correct? Or did we do several puzzles here? I don't remember. I think we tried to squeeze in... We got, like, 3 puzzles, right? Hope so. Alright, well, anyway, we're gonna move on next time to Emerson's Guide and or Valhalla. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.